We had a surprise update for The Sims 4 today, and they added a whole bunch of free content into Create a Sim. Oh my god, my cat just opened my door and came into my room. I guess update is the wrong word. It wasn't an update, it was one of those SDX drops, those Sims Delivery Express thingies. And these SDX drops have really varied in size in the past. We've gotten like one hair before, we've gotten like a bunch of build items before, so it really kind of just depends. This time it's a pretty decent chunk of content and it's all in Create a Sim. Actually, I heard there is a new scenario, but I haven't actually looked yet, so I'm not certain if that's true. Oh, aliens stole my parents. A teen needs to take care of their younger sibling after their parents and the family wallet have been abducted by aliens. Luckily, the aliens were nice enough to leave a note. Their parents will be returned to them once both the kids raise their grades and some simoleons. Is this teen up for the challenge of raising their kid sibling as well as some funds for the aliens? Like the aliens are blackmailing me? Like I have to pay the aliens off to get my parents back? That's a little bit different than I was expecting. I guess it's kind of similar to the Big Sister challenge then, where you have one teen sim to raise their younger sibling, but it sounds like in this, you actually have to make like the young adult parent sims and they actually disappear until you finish the scenario. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make a video doing this one because that is really weird. Okay, well, aside from that scenario, there's a few new things that they added into Create a Sim, and these are a little bit more usable for the everyday. I think I'm gonna test these out with my Not So Berry challenge sims, mostly because one of the new hairs that we got is actually a new version of this hairstyle. So back in an SDX drop like a couple months ago, we got this hairstyle, which is so cute. I mean, I love this one. I love the cut of it. The swatches are pretty fun, but I was a little bit sad that we didn't get like a plain version. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but like all of the swatches have like the dyed roots, and I was kind of hoping for just like a regular solid color hairstyle, and they gave us that today in this SDX drop. So we've got that same hair without the dye in it now, which I'm so glad to have. It's always fun to have more options for hair, especially because with things like this, there's kind of room for storytelling with like two versions of the same hair. Maybe they always have this hair by default, but then when they're a teen, they dye their hair to a more fun color and then dye it back when they get older. Like that kind of thing is kind of nice to be able to do. And overall, this hair is just really cute. This is, I think, one of my favorite haircuts that we've ever gotten in the game. This is what I wish my real life hair looked like. My hair is not this cute in real life, but I wish it was. So I really like this hairstyle. And along with this hair, we got a completely new hair. We got this one, which is so cute. I think, dare I say, this might be one of my new favorite hairs in the whole game. I just think this is the most adorable thing. I love how this one looks. This one also obviously comes on all of the same default swatches we always have, but it's just a really, really pretty haircut. I think this is so nice. I'm so glad they're doing this, like constantly giving us a bunch new hairs and just random free updates. I mean, we all just opened our games today and all of a sudden there was like 2 new hairstyles in them. I know a lot of people were kind of upset to see an SDX come out today and there's still not like a bug fix patch for a lot of the high school years bugs, but if I'm being honest with you, I am aware that like different teams work on the bug fixes and then the free content updates. To me, this SDX drop has nothing to do with the patch that we need to fix bugs. And I'm not really here to complain about free content. Like I will gladly have this today and then the patch to fix bugs later this week or, you know, whenever it comes out. I think it's one thing to be upset when there's like a new paid DLC thing being announced, which there wasn't today, by the way. I'm just kind of giving an example. When the game is busted, it's like, how are you going to ask me to pay you money to buy new content, right? But with this kind of thing, it's a free update. Like, you're just giving me new stuff for no reason. I'll take it. I will not complain. I will sit here and I will happily accept my free items. And speaking of high school years, there's actually a couple of different items that they added that are sort of high school related. We got 2 new face paints. We got this one and also this one. I guess they're supposed to be kind of like school spirit-y face paints. To be honest, I don't think I'll ever use these, but they're kind of fun to have. We already had a couple of these for university. These ones are maybe a little bit more ridiculous though. Like the university one is literally a lobster. So it's kind of fun to have some more, and these ones are for high school obviously, but these are base games, so everybody's got them. That's kind of nice. Now give me a sec to scroll through and find this, but they did also give us another base game outfit. It's right here. We got a new base game like school spirit sweater, which is pretty fun. This one is like the logo of the high school, obviously from the high school pack, but the sweater itself is base game, so everybody gets it. And you know what? I think I like this adding of school spirit stuff into the base game. It's one of those things that I hadn't really thought about before until we got the high school pack, but I'd like to believe that all of the Sims, you know, went to the same high school. Maybe Nancy and Bella Goth knew each other in school. And I like having stuff like this, like the school spirit sort of items, because you can kind of tell that story of like your alma mater, you know? And also the cut of this is very cute. I like this oversized sweater sort of look. I'd love to see more things like this. It's kind of a shame that it has no plain swatches. Not to like sit here and complain again, but although I guess if we complain enough, like with the hair about wanting plain plain swatches, they did eventually give them to us. So I would like to see like a plain swatch of just like the blue sweater without the logo on it, because this is really cute. I like the logo too, but it'd be nice to have just a plain variant of it. Today's update also came with a bunch of new stuff for masculine frame sims. There's like a whole bunch of new clothes. This is like super necessary and super long awaited, because always in every pack in the base game, the feminine sims always get way more stuff. Women will get like 3 times as many more hairstyles and clothes and stuff as the men get sometimes. Like feminine frame sims will get like 6 new hairstyles and masculine frame sims will get 1 or 2. So I'm really glad to see them trying to add more things into the base game like this to kind of try and fill that void. They're not done yet. There's a lot of catching up to do still, but it's always nice to have more stuff, right? So speaking of new stuff, let me try and find it, because for some reason it doesn't have a little new icon. You have to kind of scroll through and find it yourself. But they obviously have the same sweater as before. We have that same like oversized kind of high school spirit sweater. But we also have what they've called in the little update notes, the tourist shirt. This is the same as that like tourist full body outfit, except they've cut it into just the shirt, and they've also added a whole bunch more swatches. And I really like these new swatches. I think these are super cute. This one especially, I just love the colors on this. We also got this new cuffed t-shirt. They called it the rolled t-shirt, and it's got a bunch of swatches. Just a super nice like plain t-shirt and kind of a trendy cut. This is so useful. I'm gonna give so many sims this t-shirt. It's kind of weird to be like, oh my god, finally a plain t-shirt, but seriously, finally a plain t-shirt. This is such a useful item. It's just so good to have more basics like that. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't actually know which of the shorts are new. They're described as the tourist shorts, so I think that they're these ones. I'm pretty sure that these are the tourist shorts that are new, like the separated ones from the full body outfit, but there's no way to be certain because I can't tell. I think it's those though. And these are fine, like I'm not mad, I'll take it, but more importantly, we've got a new pair of jeans, and I'm gonna be honest, we were so desperately in need of more jeans in The Sims, so this is a huge relief. And these are also really good jeans. They called them the cuffed pants, so they're just like some plain cuffed jeans, but the texture is really nice, the cut is really nice, they fit well, there's good swatches. Like these are gonna be my new go-tos. I'm gonna give every single sim these jeans. I have a problem. I just find one thing I like and I make every sim wear it, but what you're looking at, this like plain t-shirt, Converse, cuffed jeans thing, this is my new go-to, I'm pretty sure. So those are all the new, like completely new items, but they also added a bunch of swatches to like pre-existing base game stuff. So for example, this like plain long sleeve kind of rolled up t-shirt, they gave us a ton more swatches on this. I honestly forget which ones we had previously and which ones are new. I know we had like a gray and a white and probably a blue or whatever, but there's a whole bunch of new swatches on this. So we've got a lot more options for this t-shirt. This tucked in like button-up shirt also got some new swatches. I'm pretty sure that most of these patterned ones are new. I think this one we might have always had, but I don't remember. Either way, a lot of these look new to me. It's so confusing when it's like new swatches on an old shirt to like tell how many it used to have. But again, this is a super useful item. So many of my sims are gonna wear this, and I am so glad to have more options. Okay, I'm trying to find the last one. I cannot find it. Hello? Where did you go? Oh my god. I wish they just marked it as new. Is it just this one? No, not that. It is a button up though. This one. Okay, I got there in the end. They added more swatches to this shirt too. So we've got a whole bunch more options on this. Like for example, this one, new. We got this one is new. This one is definitely new. I think they added some more like plain swatches even. And this is a really nice shirt to have some more variants of. Like I already use this one all the time, so I'm really glad to have some more colors. I'm pretty sure that these pants also got given some more swatches. Again, I'm not really sure what swatches they had before, but for example, these camo ones, definitely new. There's like some darker options and like a few different camo variants. Also, these more like dress pants got a bunch more swatches. I think before it just had like 4 swatches, maybe 5. So we've got a lot more color variants on it now. And then these jeans, like the simple kind of basic jeans, they gave us a bunch more colors on these too. I'm really glad they're going back and like kind of updating and adding to some of the older base game stuff. I mean, especially for the masculine frame clothing, because we are so lacking when it comes to that. I know I keep saying this, but it is really good to see some more options being added. This right here is the post they shared with like all of the stuff in the SDX drop. So it's not a super long list, but it's kind of a lot of things. They didn't list that scenario on this page, so it's possible there's other stuff, but I haven't found anything else yet, and I've been looking. So when you open your games today, it should have one of those little like SDX drop incoming pop-ups show up, and then it'll tell you to restart your game, and it should have these things installed. They used to do SDX drops like kinda once a month, and we've sort of deviated from that, so I'm hoping that with this, we're kind of back on track to have one a month again. It's just really fun to get more free stuff. Like, I opened up my game today, and all of a sudden I had 2 more hairstyles and a ton of new cast stuff. And it's a lot of really good, really usable cast stuff, because it's all pretty much basics, like really easy things to fit into pretty much any Sims wardrobe. This to me is a really good sign that we're going in the right direction, and I would love to see more stuff like this. I hadn't really ever considered it before, but even just getting more swatches on some of the older base game stuff is a really good perk. There's a lot of pretty decent stuff in the base game, but a lot of it's got kind of outdated swatches or not very many swatches at all, so it's always good to get some more options. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this SDX drop though. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Also, we're still waiting on some bug fixes for the high school years pack, so I will of course let you know once we've got some information on that. I don't think they've given us a timeline or like any info on that really, but I'll tell you when I find out. With that being said though, I'm gonna cut this video right here, and if you enjoy The Sims and hearing about Sims news and stuff like that, I always make videos on it, so feel free to subscribe. And with that being said, I'm gonna cut the video right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Have the best rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye everybody. Those hairs though, the hairs are so beautiful. I am obsessed with them. I like want to make a sim to use them right now.